Shalom. We turn to Parshat Emor and the teachings by Rav David Weiss Halivni as personally heard and recorded, then edited and published in Divrei Halev by Rabbi Ronald D. Price from the UTJ, the Union for Traditional Judaism. I am Rabbi Seth D. Gordon of Traditional Congregation in St. Louis, Missouri. The selection from Rav Halivni that I have chosen is about Yom HaKippurim, Vayikra Kaf Gimel Kaf Tet Lamed, Leviticus 23, verses 29 to 30. As an American congregational rabbi, Rav Halivni's teachings are especially relevant. He focuses our attention on the pshat of the Torah, the message that the Torah conveyed in its own context. His thoughts are both revealing and gently provocative. As Rabbi Price shared in his introduction, they reflect his midot, or character. I will first address translation issues. Divrei Halev uses the 1917 JPS translation. Because I find that version imprecise and awkward, I will also cite the 1999 NJPS translation. Let's look at the two psukim, or verses. Each contains a prohibition and a punishment. Ki chol hanefesh asher lo tu'uneh be'etzem hayom hazeh v'nichrata me'ameha. Indeed, any person who does not tu'uneh, practice self-denial throughout that day, v'nichrata, shall be cut off from his kin. V'chol hanefesh asher ta'asek ho melacha be'etzem hayom hazeh v'havadati et hanefesh hahi mikerev ama. Whoever does any melacha, work, throughout that day, v'havadati, I will cause that person to perish from among his people. For a moment, we turn to translation issues regarding key words. The first prohibition employs the specialized word tu'uneh, actually repeated in two forms in this section. It is often translated as either afflict, JPS 1917, and also Art Scroll, as denial in NJPS 1999. The root of tu'uneh is ani, which means poor. A better translation of the verb tu'uneh might be to impoverish. Therefore, the verse would read, whoever does not impoverish himself would be cut off. However, since impoverish connotes a financial condition, I would translate tu'uneh as depriving oneself. That is, whoever does not deprive himself would be cut off. Depriving also fits well with the 5 practical oral Torah rabbinic prohibitions. We may not eat and drink, bathe, anoint with oils, wear leather shoes, and engage in marital relations on Yom HaKippurim. Fasting is the most prominent and widely practiced bodily deprivation on Yom HaKippurim. The second prohibition is to not do melacha, work. Melacha has its own historical and legal meaning. The accompanied punishment is v'havadati, destroy, in both JPS 1917 and Art Scroll, and cause to perish in NJPS 1999. Rav Halivni references Rashi and then Ibn Ezra. Rashi notes that the Torah pairs prohibitions and the punishments as we have delineated them. V'havadati, to perish, is connected with malacha, and tu'uneh, of depriving, with v'nichrata, cutting off. Ibn Ezra says, yesh hefresh beino uvein v'nichrata. There's a difference between it, referring to havadati, the perishing, uvein nichrata, and the cutting off. V'lo uchal lefaresh. Rav Halivni suggests that v'lo uchal lefaresh means that Ibn Ezra either cannot explain the difference in this context or chooses not to. We may then ask, why have these words about punishment garnered so much attention? They seem straightforward. We may respond, because these 4, the 2 prohibitions and the 2 punishments, are easily conflated and confused. Rav Halivni, aided by Rashi and Ibn Ezra, reminds us that each violation and its respective punishment stands on its own, and together they reveal an important lesson. The more severe penalty, v'havadati, I will destroy, is reserved for working on Yom HaKippurim. In Rav Halivni's words, it implies total obliteration, the destruction of body and soul. Tu'uneh, not fasting, incurs v'nichrata, separating from one's community, which is not as severe. I want to anticipate a question from those who know the three rabbinic interpretations that karet, cutting off, means either a shortened life in this world or not fathering any children, which extends us generations to come, or not obtaining life in Olam Haba, the world to come. Rav Halivni is addressing the pshat, the Torah text in context, not rabbinic theology. So Rav Halivni continues, why would the punishment for doing malacha be more severe than failing to fast on Yom HaKippurim? Although punishments reveal the severity of a transgression, I will recast his language for the modern who wishes to avoid the issue of punishment. Which is worse, not fasting on Yom HaKippurim or working on the sacred day? My experiences lead me to conclude that the question would be answered differently in different communities. I propose two paradigms: Jews who fast on Yom HaKippurim but do not consider themselves religious. That is, they admit not being committed to halachic observance and or not believing in God, contrasted with those Jews who are committed to halachic observance and believe in God. The first type cares enough to fast, either for themselves, they find fasting meaningful, perhaps it binds them to other Jews who do, or out of respect for their parents and or grandparents, keeping an important tradition, or with an eye to their children and grandchildren as a model to preserve Jewish traditions, or any combination of all of the above. If they are asked which is worse, eating on Yom HaKippurim or working on the sacred day, I believe that nearly all, if not all, would without hesitation answer that eating on Yom HaKippurim is worse. However, if the same question were to be posed in the faithfully observant community, my sense is that the answer might not come so easily or so clearly. Rav Halivni's teachings, in line with Rashi and Ibn Ezra, is relevant to both communities. By redirecting us to the words of the Torah, Rav Halivni asserts that working on Yom HaKippurim is worse, as indicated by the punishments. Perishing is worse than being cut off. A similar answer is found in the Haftarah of Yom HaKippurim from Isaiah 58, one deliberately chosen for this fast day. The people complain that they do what Hashem asked them, apparently fasting, but do not understand why Hashem pays them no attention. In verse 3, why then we fasted did you not see? Why when we ininu nafshenu, the same technical words used in our parsha, starved our bodies in the NJPS 1999 translation, did you pay no heed? Isaiah answers the charge in the name of Hashem, because on your fast day timsa'u chefetz, you see to your business and oppress all your laborers. Although Isaiah goes on to cite other sins, his words and those from the Torah and Isaiah are clear. Ritual commitments can be misunderstood as the be-all and the end-all, but they are not substitutes for core mitzvot teachings, including, but not limited to, preserving holy time and how we treat others. Rav Halivni offers another reason for why fasting is a less severe violation than working on Yom HaKippurim. Some people are unable to fast. For example, they have serious medical issues, and it is halachically mandated that they not fast. But in his words, working on the holy day undermines the foundation of all biblical holy days, turning holy time into the mundane. In my recasted words, when we treat the holy as ordinary, we are left only with ordinariness, and in practice and in concept, holiness perishes. Fasting is a means to teshuvah, to return to holiness. Shabbat Shalom.